2 years ago, I had an opportunity to hit the record button. And when I did, my goal, my vision, was to set out to change the world. 2 years in, closing in on 3 years, I had an opportunity to meet up with another podcaster, a new podcaster, one that I have the honor and the privilege to say that I watched grow up. Although he may still be a senior in high school, he's going to change the world. I had an opportunity to sit down with him, and for the first time, it will air on this platform. His name is Matt Harrington. His show is called Nothing to Something. I encourage each and every one of you to listen to this 3-part series entitled Nothing to Something. It is a brand new podcast, and I guarantee you, it's one episode you don't want to miss. Have Faith, Let It Begin starts right now with our special guest in studio, Matt Harrington.
On June 16, 2018, a show designed for you, The Daily Commuter, went live. A weekly show all about faith. A show with motivational topics, inspirational stories, and personal testimony set out to change the world.
Hello, my name is Amari, and today we are back on another episode of Have Faith and Let's Begin. Hi, my name is Isabella, and you're listening to Have Faith, Let It Begin.
Hi, I am Mia. You're listening to Have Faith, Let It Begin.
Welcome to Have Faith. Let it begin. Here's your host, Angel Santana.
Can you say Have Faith, Let It Begin? Huh? Yeah. Yeah? Daddy loves you. Daddy loves you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Have Faith, Let It Begin. My name is Angel, and coming to you live from my own home, and as you can see, on a virtual Zoom, we have Matt H. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome Matt H. to the Have Faith, Let It Begin family and to the Have Faith, Let It Begin show. As you heard in the introduction, he has something that I believe is going to change this industry, something that is so powerful that I had to bring him on the show. He's already, by the time this airs, I mean, as of right now, he's got 5 episodes in, but by the time this airs, he's probably going to be well over maybe 8 or 10 episodes. But I'd like to formally welcome Matt H. to the show. Matt, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. It's definitely a blessing to be here today and talk about my show just a little bit to give people a little bit of an insight of what I do and how I want to help people.
Definitely, I agree. And let me just, to bring our audience to understanding how we know each other, we attend the same church.
Yep.
I know your parents. Your mom went to school with my sister, and there's a history there. And you have 2 other brothers, and we work together with youth group.
Yep, youth group.
Yeah, and I've watched you guys grow up, and I've always known that you 3 guys always had this gift, and you all have different treasures, different talents. But I never knew that you were interested in podcasting.
Yep, I am. It's when I was talking to you at our local supermarket, I asked you about your podcast and we got into it a little bit before you had to leave. But I was like, I thought about it, and to be honest, I never listened to a podcast before that. And I was like, okay, so this is kind of cool. And I thought, what would it be like if I made my own just to help somebody out? And my goal once I made this was if I could help one person out a month, then I'm doing my job right.
Which is phenomenal, because when we were talking, just to share with the audience, that was my goal. My goal was to do if I could just touch somebody, just one person per episode, I feel like I've done my job.
Yeah.
And I think that when I heard that, aside from the fact that I know who you are, or at least I thought I knew who you were until I heard your show, which we're going to get into, it really just culminated into this great alliance, this great ability to come together and put you out there on our Have Faith, Let It Begin family. So let's just dive right in. I'm going to let you have the floor, but I want to point out to the audience, Matt is coming on just like me. We both had no experience, but we had a message to share. And now that we have this message, we're going to share it with the world. And here's Ariel right now. Okay, there you go, Mama. as we all know, Ariel's here with us, and she's got my alarm went off, so she wants to play with her games. But hey, we're live. What can we do? So
Yep.
the thing about your show that I feel is the most powerful is what I would like you to share with our audience. So I don't want to even give away anything. I'm gonna let you have the floor. But I will say this. This is something that happens each and every day. But you're a prime example to me of you just don't know it's who is dealing with certain things, and to know that the one person that I never would have expected to have what you're going through or what you've dealt with was mind-blowing. For that, I turn it over to you. Matt, tell us about your show.
All right, so my show is called Nothing to Something with Matt Harrington. It's available on pretty much any streaming service. But besides that, it's about a show going through people's stories and struggles, stuff they've dealt with. It's always every episode is going to be an interview with somebody. It's going to be about their struggles every day, mental struggles, physical struggles, whatever they feel is a struggle to them. But I started off with an episode called This Is Me. And in that episode, I basically talked about what I went through. And I don't know whoever's listening to this knows me or not, but I've dealt with depression, anxiety, OCD, suicidal thoughts, and a bunch of other disorder stuff. And it was never easy for me to go through that stuff, but it made me the person who I am today. And I'm very, very, proud of myself in the fact that I actually got past all of it. And yes, it's still going to be there throughout my whole life, but that makes me me. So I'm not going to change who I am just because of the fact that I'm going through some stuff. So besides that, I bring people on. I have about 5 episodes right now, and I've talked with, my cousins and my friends, and we've all just gone over our struggles, and I found out stuff I never knew about them. Like, I thought I knew them, like Angel thought he knew me, but I had no clue they were going through, mental struggles, anger issues, all this stuff. And it really brought the light to me, like, wow, people are really, like, I know I started the show for a reason, but now I really want to make an impact on someone's life. And it just changed my way of thinking, really, all around. I got, once I finished the episode, I felt more relieved in myself that I was doing a good thing and just helping people out. It's just one of my favorite things to do now is just help somebody in the best way that I can. And if that's through this podcast, then I'm going to keep doing that.
Well said. I totally agree with that. And as I was listening to that very first episode, which, by the way, is available right now in pretty much every podcast capability. Of course, you can do that right here on our Spreaker account. You can actually do that. I'm going to put a description on this actual episode for everybody to take a look at Nothing to Something. Again, created by Matt Harrington, or as I call him, Matt H. This is an up-and-coming, edition. I'm encouraging all of our 45,000+ fans to subscribe to this episode, to these episodes, to this channel, because quite honestly, I think it is great to hear it from your perspective. And I want to point out, you're not some old fogey. You're a young man. You're still in high school. You're just coming into your own, and just hearing about all the struggles, or as I call it on my show, we call them storms. Just hearing the storms that you had struggled with, and the fact that you have found that this show is giving you the platform to make you A, feel good about yourself, B, help others, and C, open up people's minds and thoughts, and visually you paint a picture that I don't even think I was privy to. And for that, I have to say thank you for that, because you have literally opened up my eyes, and I'm sure you're going to inspire so many other people. So let me ask this first question to you. You said that on your first episode you felt relieved, and I shared with you personally, and I'm going to share this now with everyone. I told you, obviously my fans know this too, I go to therapy, and for me, I found that it was like having another therapy session, but within myself. Do you feel that this show is doing that for you, or is it a little different?
For me, I go to therapy too. I still go, and I think, side note for everyone, even if you're not going through something, but you feel like you're about to, therapy is for everyone. It's not just for those going through something. It can be, for anyone who wants to go. It's always there for you. It's always, something you can do that you don't have to think of too much. And I know people look down upon therapy nowadays, like, oh, you go to therapy or special needs or whatnot, but you're not. It's if you need help, you need help. And you need to recognize the fact that if you're struggling, you need to go have someone tell you that it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy. And I didn't mean to interject, but you know what's funny? Being 42 years old, I just always assumed that as you got older, that the feelings of, or if you get your heart broken and your breakups and all that, as you get older, you have to kind of go through those things to get wiser. I knew that there was kids out there, with all due respect, by calling you a kid, I'm not trying to insult you.
No.
But all the people that are in that teenage and early teens and late teens, I've heard stories. We all see it on the news, but to hear it in your own backyard, meaning someone I never knew, because you're always smiling, but to know that deep down inside you were going through that, as I did, obviously in my late teens and early 20s, I just didn't realize the severity of it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And one of the things I wanted to touch base on is your episodes. I mean, look at the way the titles are. His pilot episode, everybody, is called This Is Me. That's episode 1. And then he's got positivity. Then he talks about music. He talks about rise up and recovery. These are all different types of episodes. And I would suggest, if you're really interested in following this journey, you may want to go back and you want to start from the beginning. What's great about your show too, I like, Matt, is that it's not long. For a lot of people that are daily commuters, like my viewers, they want to get in and get out. This is a really good opportunity for them to just kind of get a good inspirational thought and a message. I know your first couple episodes are like under 9 minutes. And for some people, I like to throw that out there because some people think that podcasts are so long. Yeah. Because the majority are. Like today, our episode's going to run longer, but that's because we're going to promote your show. So we're going to take the time. And I think we're going to have you back on for part 2 because there's only so much we can talk about in one episode. Now, without giving away too much for the audience, you had another episode where you had a friend come on, and I don't want to share his name because he hasn't got permission officially to be on my show. I know he was on yours. Yeah. So you just had a friend that was on, and tell us a little bit about that without giving too much away.
So I had 2 friends on, but I think you're talking about his struggles and the loss of somebody. Is that correct? Or...
Right.
Yeah. So we were talking about the same person. We were talking about we lost somebody. I'm not going to bring up names, but he had something go on in his head and he drowned in a pool. And we both felt the loss of that because he was a day away from going into high school. It was the day before. And we both had our different ways of struggling. And for him, it was just holding it in and then just coping with it. For me, it was expressing my feelings to everyone else. But overall, we got through it. And in that episode, Rise Up, we talk about, what it's like to be stressed, what it's like to be a bully, what it's like to go through all these things. And for me, what hit me the most is when he brought up the fact that everyone goes through these things and it's not going to be easy. It never was easy. Everyone starts from nothing to something. Everyone goes and goes through a tough time, but it's how you get through that tough time what makes you the person you are today.
Yeah, and I think that's great. And it's funny how I was going to ask you this next and you kind of perfectly segued. I want to talk about the title. Where did that come from? I love the title. I think it's great. It's catchy. It gets right to the point. And now listening to your show, it makes sense. Nothing to something. How did that come about?
So I was brainstorming about a week and a half ago when this whole thing started. I was just like, wow, what's a good title for me? What's a good name to put out there so people can recognize the fact that I'm there? So I'm not in this for the money. I'm in this to make people feel better, just to make that clear for everybody. But I felt that everyone goes from literally nothing to something. I mean, you're born, you haven't done anything, And then as you grow up, you get to something. So I was like, okay, that kind of sparked my idea for it. But then I was like, everyone starts at the bottom when they go through a struggle. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know how it's going to go. You don't know how it's going to end up. But you do know that you start at nothing and you will go to something. But you choose.
Sorry, I thought you were done. That's great. Keep going. Yeah.
Sorry, but
it's good.
You always go from nothing to something, and it depends on what you choose that something to be. It can be good, it can be bad, but it's how you look at it, and it's how you decide what you want to go into.
And I think it's awesome. And what's really good is for all of you that just, joining us, if you just joined us, definitely rewind it, go back to the beginning. We're talking to Matt H. He is the up-and-coming new podcaster for a show called Nothing to Something. I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. I also encourage you to subscribe to his Twitter account. It's at NTS1248. That is at NTS1248, the capital letters, by the way, for Nothing to Something. And we're talking to him about it, and he's got so many views already just to start, and he's only a week in. Here at our show, we were 6 months before we actually touched base, and I'm telling you, that's why I think you're touching hearts quicker than anybody will ever have. And like we shared before, it's not a competition. We're here because we both want the same thing. We want to touch lives. We want to do it in a positive way, and what better platform than to do it like we're doing right now. And I'm so excited about it. I really think that each and every person should subscribe, should take a listen. And if you want to email him, email at msh7787@gmail.com. I'm going to put all these in the description of this particular episode so you can reach out to him. And if you have stories you want to share, he will take you on to the show. He's going to...
Please feel free to come on. I'm willing to take anybody.
Yeah, I think it's great. And we're going to have Matt. Matt's going to be a regular here. We're going to have him back on this show. I'd like to do a Q&A one day with you. Maybe we'll do a live call-in show.
Oh, totally.
And we'll get people to call up and real quick, because we're the same type of... We're trying to touch lives, right? But we're different categories when it comes to genre. So ours is under spirituality and religion. Yours is under what now?
Self-improvement.
Self-improvement. Just so everybody wants to look it up. I don't want them to think they have to go through religion and spirituality to find you. Obviously, it's Nothing to Something, but you're under the category of self-improvement in case you're having trouble getting through, because, technology can sometimes be
against. It's either self-improvement or self-help. It's one or the other.
Okay. So that's good. So that's what people are aware. And if you have the Apple, a lot of people don't know how to listen to us. If you have an Apple phone, there's an actual icon called podcast. Push that. He's on there. He's on Apple as well. He is, and let's get him to a statue where you can literally find him on Alexa, on Google Chrome, on Google Home, Sonos, all the stuff that got us to where we are. I know that you're also on, what other platforms? Was it Spotify?
I'm on Spotify. I'm on YouTube, Google Podcast, soon to be iHeartRadio, hopefully.
Come on, iHeartRadio. We got to get you on here.
Yeah, we got to get there. We're close.
Yeah, we got to get him on there. Why not put him on? You have Nothing to Something, right? So you're only going to add more to the flavor.
Cool. I have the big one, Audible. I'm finally on there.
Oh, and that's huge. That's a huge platform. Yeah. All right. Well, listen, I'm going to cut this part. We're going to call this part one. Part one with Matt H. I hope that everyone will now kind of know a little bit about it. Next episode, we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about who the man Matt H. is and what his likes and dislikes are, and maybe throw a couple topics along the way, and we'll share some other stuff. So, Matt H., I appreciate you being on our show today, and I want to encourage each and every one of you to listen, of course, to his show, and, of course, continue to listen to ours, because guess what? We're a team, and we're going to continue to go out and touch lives. So without further ado, Matt, again, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely. You want to have the last word?
Just everyone stay positive. Keep fighting the fight. As I say in my other episodes, remember, no worries about anything. Just live through your day. Just get through each and every day as it goes on. And that's it for me.
All right. So thank you guys so much for listening. And this is Angel. And as always, have faith. Let it begin. Thank you for listening to another episode of Have Faith, Let It Begin. That's right, Ariel. We're done with another show. And it's always great to have this show with you, man, love. You know, we're going to encourage each and every person to listen to our show every single weekday. That's right, you and I are going to help change the world. Do you think that you can do that for me? Huh? Yeah, you know you can. She does. We want to let you know, and yes, we encourage you to listen to our show each and every weekday, and it's going to be live at 7:30. Make sure you're subscribed to our show. Make sure you get ready, fasten those seatbelts, because Ariel and I and my family are going to bring you a new topic, a new story each and every day, right? Isn't that right, Ariel? Yeah. And she's smiling at me. Guys, enjoy your day.